Hey everybody, here we go. It's turn 11 for the Germans, and things looking good, bad, ugly, who knows. All right, let's just start over here where everything's looking really good. The Southern Front, yes. Well, it's sort of looking good. You remember these SS units that were flying along? Well, more of them got pulled out. They're gone. It's like, hey, we're winning. Hey, pull them out. Doesn't make sense, but they needed to be someplace else, I guess. So they had a ragtag defensive line right here, and these guys attacked, smashed it with your breakthrough. These guys attacked again and get another full retreat. So we got two full retreats out of this attack. One from the main attack and then one from the breakthrough attack, because it was just a bad looking unit to begin with. And then these guys over here, we attacked and kicked this unit and got a disruption right here and a step loss, and they lost a unit. So there was like a step loss and a lost unit, a step loss and a lost unit. So these guys, there was like 3 units got taken out of here. And most of these units that are in here are only 1 step loss to begin with. So you hit them with a step loss, they're just disintegrate. So you look at these things, nothing there. So when you hit him, you kill him. That's basically how it works. Slowing the Germans down, but that's just nature of the beast. And there was the last remnants holding out over here. The Marines were parked in the swamp right here, and the Italians, the Romanians, and the Germans attacked, and there was no place for them to go. They had to retreat, and well, if you got no place to go, well, you're gone. So they took them out and forced them to go. So now the Germans are advancing through here. So that's what's going on there. Over here by Stalingrad, we had some operations going on. There was a German, this is where most of the German panzers are parked right now, or over by Stalingrad. So they attacked, hit this unit, disrupted it, followed back to here. They had a step loss, and they attacked one here, and then they looked and was like, ooh, this is like a 2-to-1 odds attacking this unit that's right there. So they are going to probably wait. They got it surrounded pretty much. There's not many places if they get a retreat that they can go to, but they could if possible. So that's what's going on. There was a single little cav unit that was right here. Actually, they're probably right there. They got hit by this infantry and they had a step loss and one step loss and a retreat, so they fell back to here, and the Germans advanced on them. So there was a unit wiped out there, and it was a very cheap looking cav unit that was right there holding that city, and they got hit by that German unit, and they had a step loss and were wiped out. So this is what it's looking like right now. There's your panoramic view of the battlefield. So far everything's looking great, right? Not so much. Up here where the Russians went on the offensive and actually tried to make a breakthrough, they kind of split the lines. So you got a German line up here, and the Germans are back here on the one, and it's like, right, ooh, there's a split right there. So yeah, so the Germans fell back. They had an armory unit here, attacked with air support and artillery support, hit this unit here and smashed it, and they retreated there. So now they got their lines kind of solid right through here. And then let's see, this disruption goes away. And this one will go away. There we go. So now the Germans have a pretty decent line at the moment, but the Russians do have this big giant pincer going right through here, so they can do a number on the Germans if possible. And there's a lot of Russian units right here, so the Russians could be going on the offensive while the Germans are on the offensive elsewhere. So yeah, there's a lot of Russians parked over here, because this portion of the front was just obliterated, smashed, taken out, surrounded. No place, when you're forced to retreat and you got no place to retreat, they have to surrender. Not so much over here. So most of this northern portion of is still intact. And the old pincer movement was working great. And then the Germans say, hey, we need these armor units. And everything goes someplace else. And they got pulled out of the game. And as a result, you're looking at suddenly what was a grandiose attack is now it's like, ooh, we're having problems because it's the armor that helps you make breakthroughs. And right now the armor is wrapped up trying to get back out of they were doing that pincer movement, and then now they're cut off practically. So yeah, so we'll see what happens when we come back with the Russian turn. All right. Alrighty, buddy, here it is. It's turn 11 for the Soviets, and well, things didn't work out the way they expected. I'll just start down here. Down south, they got their Caucasus reinforcements are coming in from the mountains and slowly crawling through the mountains and the roads, getting towards the front, but that's kind of a trickle. They fell back, and their full retreat are now just disrupted. Disrupted ones are now, we got Marines here. We'll see what happens. And over here, they just reconfigured, and I forgot to do this. No, there's no way. These guys are just parked in that city, last defense, trying to hold out. So that's what's going on there. Big panoramic view of everything. Lots of space. One of the biggest problems you have in Russia, you can't have a continuous line unless you spread yourself really thin, and that makes you really susceptible to being run over by armor units. Now over here, the Russians moved up, expecting to roll this flank right here, and no. They did get a exchange where both sides had to have a step loss, and the Germans had a step loss here, and the Russians had a step loss there. So they did not force that retreat out of there, and so that flank is still holding pretty strong at the moment for the Germans. They did go here, and this is the panzers. That's the best panzers right here in this whole area for the Germans at the moment that are active. They attacked and got attacker, what do they call it? Let's go over here with an A1. I rolled A1 right there. And that means attacker loses a step loss, no retreat or advance. So expecting to kick these guys out of here, and it did not happen. So that's where the aircraft are parked right there. The Germans are holding out. So, but the Russians did move up a whole bunch of troops. They are ready to push pretty hard right there if need be, and they have some reinforcements because they got a lot of reinforcements come in this turn. So they have guys moving in. But that was one attack that needed to happen, and it did not. Even throwing artillery in there was not enough. Basically, what you're seeing is a whole bunch of Russians. The best units are parked on top, and everything else, you see these guys with a step loss. Underneath is a bunch of step loss units. You got your best ones on top just showing what they are, but it's pretty weak. When you got an attack strength of 1, yeah, there's not a lot you can do. Now, the interesting thing here, they did have some guard units come in, reinforcement, moved up and attacked right here. And they did put a step loss, but the defender held his ground against the guards right there. And it's like, oh, sorry, guys. And then we had an attack over here. And lo and behold, it was a 2-to-1, and attacker once again had to lose a step loss. So it's like, well, that didn't work out the way I expected. It's the lowly cav unit. That thing's supposed to be stomped and kicked out of there. Nope, didn't happen. Lots of bad die rolls. You see lots of 1s and 2s. Not good. All right, so that is everything for the Soviets at the moment. They're kind of holding their own. It looks like they may be on the offensive, but how long this offensive can last with their ground up units that they have, you can only replace them and fix them up at a certain point. And right now they're not building up units. They are just bringing, it's like the catastrophe that happened over here in the center where all those units were just swallowed up and spit out as, surrendered. Well, they're bringing those units back into the game, which you're seeing trickling in along the flanks, but they already have step losses already, so there's not a lot of strength with them. But it is, when I'm looking at the future turns, the Soviets get a lot of troops coming in that are rolling in, and they can, they're replacing stuff. So how long the Germans can last, I don't know. We'll find out. All right, we'll be back.